it doesn't have me coming back
Didn't
week
grab
after
you.
week
Yeah.
like Shrinking does. It's good, but
Yes.
it's not as good as Shrinking has been. We have not completed this, I think, you or I, but we have seen a couple of episodes and we have not had the chance to talk about it. My
Yeah,
second favorite recommendation for this week.
I watched the
shows.
first 5, and
Ooh.
I'm
I'm at 4,
really
I
really
think.
into the show. I mean, you
That's
had me
good.
pegged for it. Like you've been saying as soon as you started catching the screeners that I should really catch up with it, and it is so up my alley. I mean, first of
good.
all, it stars my boy Jason Segel, who I think he's a really charming presence. I want to see him in more things. You know, I've loved him since Forgetting Sarah Marshall, and he is also one of the co-creators of the show. So it really does kind of feel like in his voice. It gives him a lot of things that are very funny for him to do. I think there's all these like tiny moments. Like there's one part where he's pulling a pizza that he made in an oven out with his bare hands, and he says to himself, "Be brave, be brave, be brave." And it's the kind of thing that Jason Segel can make hilarious. I don't know if like maybe many people would think to make that small moment funny, but aside from Jason Segel, it's also co-created by Bill Lawrence and Brett Goldstein. Brett Goldstein you probably recognize as Roy Kent from Ted Lasso. Bill Lawrence, another one of the co-creators of Ted Lasso, but he has a longer resume that stretches back to Spin City, to Scrubs, to Cougar Town. So he's a guy who is familiar with this kind of like hangout, buddy comedy, like workplace comedy style of comedy.
Oh,
and
yeah, he's the head honcho, dude.
Absolutely.
He's behind this?
Yeah.
What's the guy who owns the Mavericks?
What was it?
The guy who owns the Mavericks. Shark Tank. He reminds me
Cuban?
of like the film producer. He reminds me of a film, Mark Cuban. Side little tangent.
I hear
Okay.
that.
Yeah, he's huge, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the thing
all
is,
right.
like, when you look at a show like Shrinking, because it's got, you know, legit talent involved in it, it's got a pretty good look to it. You don't think like half-hour sitcom, but when you really think about the writing of the show, it is kind of like a traditional half-hour sitcom. The banter, the jokes, the like workplace energy of it, and it's a really good hangout. Elevated, not just because Jason Segel's in it, not just because Jessica Williams, who I love from The Daily Show and some other stuff, is on it. They got Harrison Ford. Tell me what Harrison Ford is doing in a half-hour comedy written by Bill Lawrence.
Look, I was wrong. I thought this man was in there just collecting a paycheck. He was just in there grumpy. He's just in there saying his lines. Then episode 3, episode 4, you start seeing him open up a little bit, and I was like, oh, okay. I'm sorry, Harrison. I apologize. You do your work. You just have it down so well. He makes it feel like he doesn't want to be there. But then the moment he has this little inkling, just a little move of his cheek, when he starts talking about his history, his family, and you're like, oh, this show's getting to work. Every single character is firing on all cylinders here. You have all the emotionality with the lead, with Jason's character. But the fact he's got such a strong supporting cast is why you want to keep coming back to the show. Because it's one of those sitcoms where it doesn't matter who you're focusing on. You're intrigued with every single storyline.
Absolutely. I also don't know if you know about Jessica Williams' personal history. She lost her boyfriend a few years ago and has kind of like somewhat openly gone through the grieving process. So I do feel like there's probably a very personal connection for a lot of people on this show, which is so much about grief and so much about loss and how we deal with our own issues. Like for a show that is very sunny and happy, I'm really impressed and I don't know, like it lifts me up how much the show is able to deal with real things, real sadness. I think the very first episode ends on such a sad note. I thought it was so brave and daring to take your comedy and give you that downer.
Because it ends on such a high relief. Oh my gosh, he finally found resolution.
Yeah.
It's because they gave you that last up that the down feels so crazy. Dude, what you just said about Jessica's character, because I'm going through her, like, what she's gone through in the first 4 episodes. That's good. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
Catch this. Before you answer Ewan's, because I saw another one from LaShawn over here who had mentioned another Apple TV show. I never finished Mr. McCorman. Should we finish Mr. McCorman? Let me know. She says it's pretty good. I know that one did end up getting canceled. I'll tell you this. This one attracted me. Right? The Joseph Gordon-Levitt one. This one got me way faster than that one did. But I didn't get to finish the other one. So if you think we should finish it, let us know. And then you had Ewan.
Ewan saying that he thinks Harrison Ford is the best part of the show so far.
That's what I was saying. I was wrong. I was trying to. I thought he was phoning it in. No, that man's just great at what he does. He's the GOAT. And then to think he's going to be in Marvel.
Yeah, I mean, do you want to pull up his IMDb for a second? Because I think it's pretty funny.
Harrison Ford, he's been in a couple stuff. Really quick, before we do that one, dude, Brett Goldstein. I had no idea he was on the show.
Yeah.
I had just mentioned him a little earlier.
A super talented writer.
Wait, why isn't he on here? He appears in, what did I just show you? He appears in the Harley Quinn special.
Oh, really?
As a cartoon character, bro. It came out of nowhere. That's what this image is. Just to the side. So Brett is everywhere. In after credits, everywhere you can find him. All right, you were saying pull up.
Yeah, Harrison Ford's
this little known actor, up and comer.
My man took a break for a little while. Like he got Han Solo money, and there was a couple of years where it looked like he might retire, and then all of a sudden he's been in back to back to back. He's got 2 TV shows and a new Indiana Jones movie this year.
Bro, 1923, that's right. The show that's supposed to be based off of 1 year, and now it's getting a sequel. 1923 too. He's got the Yellowstone money, the Star Wars money. That's crazy. And then now the Marvel money?
Yeah, that
too. The Indiana Jones bag is...
I don't know if Callista Flockhart just wanted a new house, or if he's got some tax bills, or...
Oh, no, he's got a new strain coming out. That's what it is. Harrison Ford, look at you, dude. Right when you think he's going to retire, they pull him right back. All right, good for him. Yeah. Good for him. How old is he? To have a year like this? This late in your career? I can't do that, man. 1942, he old.
My man's already 80, going on 81 in July.
You know how we do. Chicago. That's good for him. That's great.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford. And not just in movies that he's starring in. He also gets a lot of mentions. I don't know if you remember, there was a couple of Sundance things that we had. I don't want to spoil which movie, but he plays a huge role in some Sundance movies. He's a pivotal part about being the epitome of what a man is. So you're going to see a lot of Harrison Ford this year.